Is Marvel trying to play a sleight of hand with us? Are they trying to pull the wool over our eyes? Or are they making a turn in the right direction? This is Comic News Weekly. I'm ComicManAndy. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, support the channel. Come hang out because we are talking Marvel Spotlight tonight. Sit back and buckle up. Welcome back, everybody. Comic News Weekly. It's Tuesday. It's New Comic Book Day Eve. I'm really looking forward to getting into this. It's actually more exciting than you guys might think off the get-go. More Marvel news, Marvel burnout. Let's talk about this. We're going to welcome the panel. We're going to welcome you guys in the chat, the live chat tonight. We're going to look forward to your guys' comments on the replay and to continue this discussion. Because one night's not enough when we're talking about what's Marvel going to do for the future of the MCU. No rhyme intended, but without further ado, let's not get blue as we welcome the man, the myth, the legend, somebody beyond everything and beyond Wednesday. That's Bryan McClay. What is up, brother?
Hey, what's going on, bro?
One of these days I'll get it. Yes, one of these days I'll get a really good script going for for welcoming the panel on. I just tell myself every week I'm going to think of something better, and it just doesn't happen. I keep getting along the same way.
Hell yeah. Well, let's get to it.
I'm looking forward to it. And if we're going to get to it, we got to have our man Rhynoverse. What's up? Ryan of Rhynoverse. I did it backwards.
It's been a sad couple of days for myself. Recently, one of my favorite bands has lost a drummer, and just a really sucky situation there. And yeah, so looking to see what happens on the other side. But I'm sure it's all for a good reason.
Was he the fill-in for Joey Jordison?
Well, he wasn't the fill-in; he was the replacement for Joey Jordison.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So Joey, has been gone for a while. He's been in the band now for 10 years, I believe, and he's done 3 albums with them. And was it 10 years? Yeah, I think it's been 10 years. But yeah, it sucked because he was very, very good. He was an extremely good drummer. He would fit perfectly. He was an enormous fan of Slipknot. There's pictures of his dad actually having, communicating or going backstage with Slipknot, talking to him, because his dad is in the music scene as well. And he's a kid sitting next to his dad, and then he starts playing with him. This was pretty crazy. So it'll be interesting to see what that replacement looks like. Because when there's no replacing Joey, that's for sure. So I don't want to say he's a replacement, but he beat the Skins for Slipknot for a long time.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough to come back from on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird. Like that's the whole Slipknot thing. That whole band has been changing. They've changed about 5 players, which in any other normal band would be a completely new band. But as for them, it's only half of the band, and they still got their half to go.
What happens with this guy?
Come again?
What happened? Why is it so crazy that he left?
Because it was out of blue. It was just completely out of blue. Like he was a replacement. There was no reason why he left. It just all of a sudden they said he will no longer be with the band. Thanks for his services. He did great in place of Joey, since Joey wasn't able to do it any longer, and he's not around anymore. He's passed, and so that was it. It was just like they played the last show, and then they announced that, and then the next day that announcement was gone. And it's like they move forward. But Slipknot is it's a machine now. It's a business. It's not so much a band as much as it is a business now.
That's a bunch of 50-year-old guys still making money and still putting out music, right? I mean, it's their calling.
Correct.
To do.
But if you think about it, you never know who's playing the music, really. They can have anyone behind those masks, really. If you ever heard of the band Guar, okay, their members are interchangeable, and in fact there are different members that play as they tour. They just don't know, the costumes show up and there could be something different on it from one night to the next.
Yeah, true. But you know what's crazier than that? Not crazy at all, but Marvel with the sleight of hand of creating Marvel Spotlight. Now, I'm very interested in hearing what you guys have to say about this, because I don't feel like this is out of the blue or out of left field. I feel like this has been overly predicted for some time, but the news didn't just start dropping until yesterday, like the actual news channels and a lot of the reports. Correct me if I'm wrong, McClay and Ryan, but like, this is exactly what we talked about 6, 7, 8 years ago when Netflix said they were wrapping up everything, closing out all of the street level hero stuff with Daredevil and the Punisher. And we're like, well, this should continue, but where is it going to continue at?
Is that weird noise that just happened?
Yeah, it's a little feedback from, I think, McClay, we're getting a little bit of feedback from you. Not a lot.
You still hear it?
No, it was like a weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Don't mind McClay. He's just there. He's there working on his audio while we do his show. Don't worry about that. Don't listen. Don't look behind the curtain. Just look at the curtain.
So several articles yesterday dropped from, you name it, Uprock, Screen Rant, CBR, I think. Lots of them started dropping and saying Marvel is going to start making movies and shows that aren't part of the MCU necessarily, and therefore require less homework, which I thought is an interesting way to look at this. And this is coming off of Uprock's per Deadline, during a preview of Echo with their Hawkeye spinoff featuring Maya Lopez's Native American deaf assassin, and Marvel exec quietly slipped in some big news. The show, he said, would be part of a new wing called Marvel Spotlight. These would be movies and shows, while they may have a connection to the MCU, don't require everyone has to watch or at least read up on all the stuff that's happened in all the other movies and shows. Now, as a Marvel fan, I kind of take offense to this, because everything in the past, however long, was written so well. It was very enjoyable as a movie. I didn't feel like I had to educate myself. It wasn't until the last couple of years that they start getting so ingrained and knee deep into all the other different things, the different items, everything's so connected and so woven together now. Then it feels like it becomes a chore. But the last 10 or 12 years of superhero content didn't feel like that to me. If it felt like that to you guys, I'm curious. But it just didn't feel like homework until recently. And now it feels like they're trying to do this sleight of hand where they want to continue doing what they've been doing to a degree. At the end of the day, if it's not going to be written well, how well is this really going to go?
Yeah, it definitely has to be written well, that's for sure. That's kind of like why I think they are where they're at right now. I mean, it's like everyone's like, you look at the movies coming up, and it used to be, it was out without a doubt, without even thinking about it. You're going to be at the opener as fast as possible. You weren't thinking about if you're going to go or not. Was it, or you're going to, maybe, no, you're going to be there. If it was coming out, you're going to be there, especially if you're into comics. And now people are like, well, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, Infinity War, any of those movies that were coming out, we were pining to get tickets to go when they released. After that, we turned into we'll wait and see what happens, because you had COVID, you had a lot of things that happened in the last 3 or 4 years that kind of changed the scene and what we do and how we handle things. But at the end of the day, movie tickets and prices did go up, but still, if it's something is written well, you're really excited about, you're willing to make that sacrifice. And we had been for a long time. I haven't been excited for a Marvel movie in 3 or 4 years. And it's not because
I'll be honest though. I think that they realize that there's certain things that they can do that is going to help them, and certain things they can do that's not going to help them. And one of the things they can do to help them is this type of aspect. Like this little spotlight series is a good idea. Release them all at once, put out good product, give us what we want. I'm cool with this. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a problem with the little spotlight stuff.
Maybe we can get some more Ghost Rider stuff without having to do a big giant budget movie. I agree with you. I just hope that it's not some sleight of hand thing from Marvel where we're going to get the same subpar writing that we have been getting, or storytelling that we've been getting over the last couple of years.
As long as we know that all of this is in continuity. That's the important thing. See, we love continuity. We love everything meshing together. And when they say, "Oh, this isn't part of this universe, this isn't part of that universe," it's not as fun sometimes. Sometimes it makes it less fun. It's weird how that dynamic plays out. But they need to pick one and go with it. Like, I understand if they want to do these what if things. That's great. I love that. That's one of my favorite things. But the rest of the stuff, keep like play in continuity, play in this world. That's what we want. We want, Spider-Man to show up maybe in Hell's Kitchen and do some Daredevil and some Echo stuff, and we want cosmic stuff to show up in Fantastic Four and X-Men to show up in anything. Like, we love the fact, like, when there's guest appearances in comics, there should be that way in the TV too.
Yeah,
and the movie.
I want to feel like I'm watching this Marvel Spotlight show, and it feels like I'm reading a comic book. But I also don't want to feel like they have to spend a whole season explaining how Spider-Man got to Hell's Kitchen. We don't need that. Spider-Man dropping into Hell's Kitchen for an episode? Hell yeah, cool as shit.
Exactly. And here's the other thing. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, they can't do that because the actors are being paid too much." Then don't get actors that you have to pay too much. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to always go get a Robert Downey Jr. every show, or you don't have to go get a, Christian Hemsworth or whatever. You can do what Star Wars does. Star Wars does that all the time. They find young actors or no-name actors. Do that. Just make sure the writing is good. And
they were that's kind of what they were doing though for a long period of time. In fact, they got what it was is they did that, and then the actors got kind of big from Marvel, and so then they ended up becoming wanting more, I guess, because they ended up becoming more known.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the things they could potentially look at the way they do contracts with actors too. Like, after the strikes that have been going on, why can't Spider-Man or one of the Spider-Man actors sign a contractual agreement for a movie, but then say in the stipulation, hey, if we drop you in an episode of Marvel Spotlight or something, here's a predetermined agreement, or like, we really want to make this cool for the fans. It's not a lot of work out of your avenue, and here's something we've agreed upon. Maybe contracts are like that to a degree and to a way where they can utilize some of the visual aspects or voiceover aspects. And I don't know, but it just seems like somebody smarter than me should be thinking about this out there and making it so that they're going to create good content in the long run.
Yeah. That's what they need.
Yeah. Rob asked, wasn't Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. only loosely connected to the MCU?
No, I don't think so. Right? Wasn't what's his name and they're bringing Daisy into the MCU prop? I don't know. Maybe, who knows?
I don't think
that's the case.
I don't even think I watched that one actually.
I thought that what's his name was in it. The main guy was from the MCU. The guy that died, the agent.
Oh, Carter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, not Carter.
Coulson.
There you go.
Thank you, Cosmic One. It's hard to keep track. Spider-Man No Way Home, we went and we're kind of excited, but we definitely weren't like Infinity War or Infinity. We weren't that excited. Thor 3 was a joke. I'm hopeful the Marvels don't, Rob, I'm sorry, buddy. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but don't get your hopes up about Marvels because initial news reports aren't looking really good right now.
Yeah. Well, I think anybody who thought that this was going to be a good movie out the 100% is sorely mistaken, man. I don't know what they're thinking. The amount of issues with just the backstory of these characters, and the vast majority of the public can't stand what's her name?
Oh, Brie Larson.
Brie Larson. And sounds like the acting, her fellow actors aren't a big fans either. So
really,
that's what it sounds like. I could be wrong.
As we all know in the comic book community, drama sells. So maybe they'll spin enough drama to drive some ticket sales for that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm kind of really excited about this too, as like, I don't want this to be a sleight of hand or them pulling wool over our eyes just to get the content out that they had already been kind of planning on getting out. But we talked about this when Netflix picked up the rights to Daredevil, to Punisher, to Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, like all that stuff, and started releasing it. It was a breath of fresh air in that time frame to have the street level hero package, so to speak, that you could view. And granted, viewership I think wasn't the greatest on the Luke Cage stuff or the Jessica Jones, I think, but over time it was getting better. And
Yeah, jump off of this. I'll be right back.
Yeah, we've been missing the street level hero stuff for some time.
Yeah.
You get the Spider-Man movies, but like we had talked about this. Yeah. We had talked about this a long time ago about it coming back, or life being breathed back into that street level hero aspect and how it was going to happen, how they were going to do it. And it sounds like they finally either, found a way or they're sneaking in with this. And I'm curious what your thoughts are on Echo, if Echo was the right vehicle to start this with.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Especially the fact that they got what's his name playing Kingpin in it. The Kingpin aspect I'm more excited for than the Echo aspect. You know what I mean? So I think it's great. I think they played it off great. And it sounds like they were planning on doing Daredevil to kind of tie into this, but the Daredevil was so bad that they couldn't.
Vincent D'Onofrio. Yeah, they actually showed images of the Daredevil suit changing to like yellow.
Yeah.
And actually reverted that back to the red suit for the Echo trailer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep. And also, what's her name? Kristen Ritter's character, Jessica Jones, was supposed to be the in for Echo into that world, and they changed that up too for some reason.
Oh, damn. So we're getting Daredevil back via Echo, and does that mean we're going to be getting the Daredevil show anytime soon, in your opinion? I don't have anything on the radar as far as that goes, but wasn't that in the news at some point and then got delayed?
What was that?
The Daredevil show coming back out.
Daredevils, yeah, they're starting fresh because it wasn't good. What
they
whole
thing
they had filmed, yeah, it wasn't good, so they're starting fresh.
Yeah, that was pretty exciting to see Matt Murdock in No Way Home.
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know, because then if you get you got Kingpin and Echo, and you got Daredevil coming, then how far are we away from Punisher? And my understanding is Echo is going to be a little bit more gritty and going to be a little bit more violent, and they're going to edge it up with Daredevil, and then hopefully you get to Punisher being as gritty as it should be.
Yeah, whatever it takes, just make sure they do it right.
Yeah, good content, good writing. Even if they're dropping all of it on Disney streaming media. I like the idea of they're dropping all the episodes in one shot.
Yeah.
Yes, love that. Hell yeah, love that. Great move, because that you can just bang them out all at once.
Yep. And Echo,
I usually do that. I do that with when they're dropping them week by week. I'll wait till there's at least, halfway through, or I can watch like 4 or 5 episodes at once at least.
You're not the first person I've heard say that. I've heard multiple people. In fact, probably about 70% of my friends or people that I talk to on a regular basis say they prefer that if an show is episodic week to week, that they'll wait till the very end to watch all of them in one shot.
I try to keep up with it week to week, but yeah, the scheduling nowadays, I mean, for me, when I had more time, that was great, but nowadays it's hard.
Yeah, and maybe that's just the way we're geared to receiving or uptaking content now, is we got kind of spoiled at the beginning with Netflix and some other streaming services where they would drop them and just anticipated people would take them in as they could, and it created a whole new binge culture. It's like having an 8-part movie series and everybody's renting out the VHS tapes all in one shot in the 80s kind of deal and binging the whole series. I don't think that's bad by any means. I think it just kind of changes the way they need to come at releasing the content, not by not releasing necessarily, but planning the phases. And that also, go ahead.
Okay, are you the type of person, like, were you the type of person that would, like, I already know the answer of Bryan McClay because I've heard his experiences, so I know if he has the ability to be able to look at gifts, he will. But if you have the ability to look at gifts, do you look at them, or do you wait because you like the anticipation?
Anything Ahsoka, Star Wars, I'll wait and I'll let the anticipation build. Anything MCU or DCU or any of the other universes, I'll binge or I'll check out right away. Star Wars stuff, if it's good and done very well, I'll wait and I'll let the anticipation build and I'll let the excitement build. My wife and I will do that and sit down and watch those shows with our son, who's a Star Wars fan also.
Yeah, I like to sit like you gotta have. I could wait for months for a gift, and it could be right. I could be something I see every day. I wait till the last minute to be able to open that thing up. It's just the way I am.
I think it's very funny now that Marvel is all worried about like what the viewers what viewers need to know about the story and the continuity and the backstory. I think it's funny how they're so worried about that now. When it was almost felt like the exact opposite in the past. Like they always. It feels like there's just this complete upheaval in multiple areas of the world that they're starting to realize that what they were doing for the past 5 years just doesn't work. It's not working and we got to completely change it. Now they care about continuity. Now they care about making sure that the viewer knows what's going on without having to retell it. That's a thing.
I think that what they saw was they were like, okay, when Marvel movies started coming out, it was like it was the comic fan that really started getting behind it because there was continuity behind it, and they're like, oh, okay, this goes with the books I've read in the back. This is history. This is now nostalgic, and then it started to catch fire, and then like the general public started to watch things, and they're like, maybe they're getting like feedback like, we wish we knew more about the story, but they're not going to take the time to go back and read it. So they try to make things that wasn't in continuity and one-offs, if you will. But then they realize that takes all the nostalgia away. That takes all of the mystique and mystery behind the stories, and the intrigue of not knowing what's going on. And the thing that tickles you and is like, man, I got to go see where that came from, or where did that start, or I want to get to the bottom of that particular idea. That's what people that really got behind the movies that's what really drove them. I'll talk for myself. That's what I liked. I was like, man, because when these first started coming out, it was before I had children, and I had collected comics, but I wasn't collecting comics at the time. And then I was like, man, I need to see that this is all online. This is crazy. So I started digging into it more. And that's what really, now it's like, it doesn't bring you back to go try to find those books or whatever, because it doesn't line up anyways. It doesn't make sense. Right. It causes confusion.
You got to leave something to the imagination. And I think that's what we love so much about comics growing up through the ages, whether you're into reading books from the 50s or 60s and 70s or the 70s, 80s and 90s or the 2000s. Comics were imperfect. They left things to the imagination. Effectively, Marvel spent the last 5 years mansplaining continuity and mansplaining everything to the degree of
mansplaining.
When you were talking that and walking me through that, I'm like, oh God, yeah. They're over explaining everything and they're and that's mansplaining. And that's kind of, oh yeah, it's starting to click in my head a little bit. And that's what I loved about comic books in the 90s is they didn't always connect perfectly. They were imperfect and left things to the imagination. Just like McClay said, it would be super badass during Echo or Daredevil if Spider-Man dropped in for 1 or 2 minutes, beat up a couple of guys, because that's what happened in the comic books. And it didn't matter how he got there or what was going on or what the backstory was. We didn't need to have it explained. We just enjoyed the moment. Damn, I'm excited for some of the Spotlight stuff to come out. I mean, you can get Ghost Rider stuff going forward. Moon Knight should be in the Spotlight stuff. What else?
Spider-Girl.
All
right. What happened to Madame Web?
Who knows? There's probably a lot of stuff they'll end up start calling that, but let's just hope that it's good. It's good writing. Let's just hope that it's a good story. That's all we want. I mean, it looks Echo looks great. I mean, even got Red Hood excited, who hated Echo. And
it's hard to excite Red Hood.
Yeah. So, I just hope that the writing is good.
Agreed.
Well, when I go to see it, it's like eating a big dessert for me. I'm all excited. I want the whipped cream. I want the cherries and like all that stuff on there. And so when I go with no expectations because I just want to enjoy it. I really don't want to have expectations because expectations are like, or I have a saying for expectations when I go on, especially when I go on surf trips, because you always want to go on a surf trip. You always want perfect waves. You always want the right size waves. You always want to be groomed and everything. And you go hoping that it never turns out that way. But that's because high expectations make poor traveling companions. And that's the thing that kind of sticks in my mind when I go see a movie. If I go with high expectations, they're always going to be disappointed because it's never going to be what you thought in your mind. If you just go take it for what it is, eat all the ice cream and the whipped cream and everything, it's gonna be fun. You might have a stomach ache afterward, but you'll enjoy it in the time.
Ryan, do you think we could see some Venom stuff in the future via the Spotlight?
Oh yeah,
That'd
that's
be
absolutely.
What
I
else?
mean, that's like,
Depends on if Sony lets them use it.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but I think like especially with the movies and stuff like that, I have a feeling that there was some type of thing with Sony where they're like, we'll let you have some versions of Venomverse or Venom. Like, I think they're going to let Marvel run away with Agent Venom. And they're like, okay, that's the only character that y'all can kind of have your way with. And then Agent Venom's going to become a big deal in the MCU at some point here in the near future. That's my feeling.
Yeah, because
especially with patrioticness of it all and whatnot. So
if you throw the Venom symbiote on a different person, does Sony still own the rights? There's ways around it a bit, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not Brock. It will never be Brock that will be wearing it. It was Flash Thompson that was wearing, as when he came back from the army and his knees were he had no legs, and Venom gave him, as he turned into Agent Venom, gave him legs and ability to be able to do things he couldn't do after he was a veteran. And so they could really run away with that story. Marvel could, and really like careen or get and tapped into a whole nother genre of people that were vets or veterans and whatnot. Because it could be a character that they can wrap their minds around it, sort of.
Yeah,
I mean, I think so. I don't know. I'm not that. So maybe Andy, you can speak to that.
I don't understand the rights with Sony in that too. I would just sit there and think about, well, the rights and the way everything is written and how it's done. I mean, could throwing the symbiote on a different character, a different person be enough to break free? Probably not, but it's a thought. I'm with Comic Journey. We need some Howard the Duck. That would be super cool.
Well, in that last Marvel movie, Venom was left behind,
Yep.
And that's where I think I don't think that's Venom. I think that's going to be the part that ends up becoming Agent Venom. And I feel like that's how they're going to parlay or move their way into that, is with that little piece that's left behind. Venom will go off into his universe and do his thing. But in that universe where it was left behind, it's going to become Agent Venom or something like that. He was actually left on a like in a kind of an island or it was like a tiki island or tiki bar or something like
Yeah,
that.
they were at a tiki bar, and then one of the cut scenes was them on a beach, I think, right?
Yes, and so if you think about it, that's kind of you could see like a war vet being like living on the beach, whatever, and having kind of living that lifestyle, and it bonding to him, and that being the takeoff of Agent Venom.
That would be kind of neat. That would be really neat to see.
Yeah, I mean that's me making up something in my mind. Who knows? I have nothing that's ever saying anything about that, but that's just what I think. And when you talk to the public, people, they're really clamoring for Agent Venom. To the ones that know Agent Venom, they're clamoring for him as much as they're clamoring for Venom himself.
Right. I do believe the Tiki Bar was in the She-Hulk series, but I think they're too different from the one we saw in the end of the Venom at the end of the movie and the Tiki Bar in the She-Hulk series. I think they were they weren't similar enough.
Yeah.
But I like the connection. And speaking of connections, the other thing that connects with this is Marvel Phase 5. And if I remember correctly, just recently they dropped some news about Phase 5, about how that's going to be structured. And it actually looks like they added a lot more breathing room. It seems like there's not quite half as many projects going on for 2024, and even into 2025, there were a couple listed on there. I don't have the tree in front of me, but that was one of the things I saw posted on the social media aspect where I found it. I don't remember if it was Facebook or TikTok or IG, but a lot of people were saying, okay, there's a lot less happening in phase 5 going forward than what they kind of planned. Like they cut a bunch of stuff. There's a lot more breathing room. And a lot of people kind of felt like, hey, that's more time to enjoy what's going on and take it in.
Yeah, I think they took a step back and they're like, why are we running so hard? Why are we pushing so much content out? Because we need to, or because we just think we need to? Because they really didn't need to. There was people wanting it, but the desire is like the desire is what keeps people coming back. And when you oversaturate, that's when people start losing interest because it's anywhere. It's always something new going on. I can watch it anytime. So if they start reeling it back and making people desire it versus already you can watch it anytime, that's human nature, and that's I think maybe they started figuring that out.
Well, do you guys think the whole connection into Armor Wars or Secret Wars going forward, do you think that'll land on the Spotlight aspect? Do you think they're going to go big picture movies with that?
I don't know.
You think they keep the connections that are being made to go over to Armor Wars or Secret Wars going forward? Because now if you're talking Armor Wars, when you cross over into that, you're talking Punisher. Punisher's going to be involved, right?
So what they're already saying exactly what they're doing, right? They keep on mentioning back to Spotlight, the comic, right, of the 70s, and why that comic was so important, because that comic basically said you didn't have to know about what's going on in the Fantastic Four world or the cosmic world or Avengers world to enjoy these stories, right? These are stories that you can read just in this title, and you don't have to know everything else that's going on. Well, you have the phases, the big phase of the MCU, phase 5 stuff, right? They're heading from Kang, where you have all these stories intertwined, right? You have the TVA, you have Deadpool 3, you have Loki, you have Avengers, Kang Dynasty, you have the Secret Wars stuff. Like, it's all intertwined. The Spotlight stuff, it doesn't have to be intertwined. That's why they're doing it. So no, I don't think that they will. I think maybe little things, but it's not going to be like major to the story. Like you know what I mean? It's going to be kept in that Spotlight world, that story. So you don't have to know about any of the other bullshit that's going on to like the stuff you're watching in Spotlight. So I don't think they'll intertwine it. No, I think that they're going to go big for Secret Wars, right? There's already talk that, they're bringing back Tobey Maguire, and they're obviously bringing back Hugh Jackman, both for big roles in that movie. They're going to, the whole point of Deadpool 3 is to show that, hey, they have to go find the strongest of every variant to go and fight the big bad, which whoever that is, Kang, Doom, the Beyonder, whatever, make your pick. They're going to choose one of those 3, and they need to get the strongest of every variant in order to fight them, or at least the strongest of every variant to lead the armies, right? So you might have a bunch of variants like you did in Secret Wars, the second Secret Wars that was it Hickman that wrote the second Secret Wars run?
I think
where
so.
They had the Battle World stuff, and they had all those different variants, and certain ones from certain time streams like were better to lead the variants. You had Doom had his Thor cores, remember, and he had all the Thors doing all the policing the stuff, and there was all those different variants, and you had a certain Thor leading all those Thors. Like that's where they're heading with, from what it sounds like. I suggest anybody goes on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and look up that guy, My Time to Shine. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He has a ton. Yeah, My Time to Shine. Hello. Let me go ahead and share this. So this guy has he's hit on a ton of rumors. Now, he doesn't hit on all of them, but he's hit on a ton of them. And this guy has been saying a lot of stuff for a long time about how things are going to go down. So, this is a great Twitter thing to follow if you like spoilers, because that's basically what he's doing. He's spoiling it for the future.
Yeah.
Here's where he says Jessica Jones was supposed to tie Echo into Daredevil Born Again, but they removed her, right, because of the Daredevil stuff that's so terrible. Here he is talking about how Chris Evans agreed to come back for Avengers Secret Wars, and so did Tony Stark, right? That's why they're doing it. They can bring them back because they're going and getting the strongest variants from each timeline, right? So there's going to be a strong Tony Stark variant. That might not be the Tony Stark that we know from the 616, right? So
that's making a lot more sense in my head now.
Yeah. So that's what they're going to be doing. So at least that's the way they look like they're going to be doing. Now they could change it up. They've changed it up a couple of times already. This whole thing where they're deciding to change, where they can't decide whether they want to go Kang style or to be the big bad, or they want Doom to take over for Kang now, or whatever. That's what they have to figure out. But they know how they want how they want the story, basically to be done.
I don't know. Is Kane the actor who does Kane? Is he done, or is it?
He's still in. They're still backing him, but they don't know if they want him to be the big bad.
Right. Do you think they can top Infinity War with that, going in that mindset that you just shared?
No. Well, unless they bring back Thanos. I mean, if they bring back Thanos, I'm all for it.
Well, I guess when I say top Infinity War, I mean like in quality and in entertainment, and the feeling that we all had going from that part 1 to that part 2, and how much it resided in all of us as Marvel fans.
We don't care about that. Well, not yet, because their original plans were to have characters like Brie Larson's Captain Marvel be the new, Tony Stark or Captain America, and we don't care about those characters like we care about. The reason why we care about Tony Stark so much is because of the writing and Robert Downey Jr.'s acting, right? Like that plays a big part of it. Robert Downey Jr. playing that part and that being his comeback role, and him being, loved as much as he was over that time period. That's a big reason why nobody cared about Iron Man before Robert Downey Jr. played the part. Nobody. And people cared less and less about Captain America every year until, they brought Chris Hemsworth in to play that part. Like that was a big reason.
Those movies. I think is you can't compare that time to now. I don't think. I think that when we were watching those movies, Marvel did something that was unexpected. The emotion that they pulled from you when you went to watch a Marvel movie, you weren't going for any type of emotion. You were going because it was going to be badass. It was going to be like a bunch of eye candy, and it was going to be, some heroes. But then they pulled at your heartstrings. You're like, hold on a second, I wasn't prepared for that. Yeah. And they did something that you weren't prepared for, and then you got hooked in because you were like, wow, that's a great feeling, and I got to see the end of this. Now to try to match that, I don't think it'll ever happen, because you expect it, and it's something that, until they're able to tap into something that's unexpected when you go to see the movie, you're going to be looking for those things, and that's kind of the reason why it's going to be hard to duplicate that. So I think trying to duplicate that, you can't do it. I think you just got to concentrate on good quality stories.
Yeah, that's fair. Both of those points from you guys are fair. It's just an interesting thought in my mind is, are they going to try to target that and try to top that? And you guys make very fair points that no matter what they do, they won't be able to. That's with the history we had with Robert Downey Jr. and him playing Iron Man was long. It wasn't brief. It wasn't short. It was well written and well done. And besides, what Iron Man 3, I think, is the one that a lot of people say that they're not fans of, or was it 2? Yeah. Either way, it was much better writing and storytelling than what we've seen in the last 5, 6, 7 years, or 4 or 5 years, whatever. But it's very fair points. Again, I'm really excited. I'm nervous. I'm also kind of excited. Now, why am I nervous? Well, I've been a Punisher fan through and through, and I feel like this is the first stepping stone into getting back to the street level heroes and getting back to the Punisher on screen. And much like everybody else talked about, we felt Netflix was the right place to do it at the beginning, because they were going to hold true with the grit and the gore and the blood, and they did. They delivered. Is Marvel gonna continue that or try to top it going forward on Disney Plus? and we've talked about this for a couple of years now about Disney Plus acquiring Hulu is going to make them more edgy. Then they're trying to put all the content on Hulu. There's so much underlying conversation over the years where some of us were right, some of us were wrong, and ipso facto back and forth, so to speak. But at the end of the day, Marvel Spotlight sounds like it's going to be a really good thing for Marvel fans. And like you said, Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, Punisher, Daredevil. I'd like to see Jessica Jones back a lot more. Even just not just
Luke
dipping
Cage.
her into Echo. Yeah. There's so much more. And I like the fact that, like you had said and painted more clear than what I was reading, was it's Marvel Spotlight for a reason outside of the big picture stuff, outside of the big picture continuity, yet it's still in that fold. It's still connected, but it's not in continuity, the right word, what I'm saying. It's in continuity, but it's not what? It's the phrase I was looking for.
It's not, you don't have to know what's going on in order to understand this, these things.
Yeah.
Isn't part of the bigger storyline.
X-Men and Fantastic Four will be the ones that save Marvel, in my opinion. Interesting. Did they announce? I did see Fantastic Four on the Phase 5 list, but I don't remember seeing X-Men. Did I miss that?
I've heard that's been pushed back a little bit, but I think everything's been pushed back as of now. I think they're definitely reeling a bit, and they're trying to find their footing again.
Yeah, it definitely feels like they're trying to find their footing. Blood Sausage, welcome, Blood Sausage, and Left. Good to see you guys for sure. Furred Bird, welcome. Discovery Bay Comics, what is up, brother? Good to see you. Hopefully, you got good weather in California. I almost said Florida.
California.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh my god, it's been 40 minutes already talking about just Marvel Spotlight. Watch him go and start printing off the comics based on the show too, like they're doing with Star Wars. That almost feels like a no-brainer thing that's about to happen. But you guys know what that means. Speaking of comic books,
new comic book
day.
Hell yeah. There's a lot going on, right, McClay?
Yeah, ton. You got some really great covers coming out this week. We'll go over all of them, but let's just go through these. You got the All-Star Comics #3 facsimile coming out. You got the blank cover. This Amazing Spider-Man 37. A lot of people talking about this gang war storyline going on, but this is the book that a lot of people are talking about this week. The Art Adams Mary Jane, which is, all the Art Adams books have been selling, but it's also got the 1 in 100 Disney Secret Wars stuff, so be on the lookout for that. There's that regular color version of it too, so if people are still collecting those. John Jing, Spider-Punk.
I love that Spider-Punk cover.
Yeah, so
ooh,
this is
there it is.
Zerdy bubblegum variant.
That's gonna be. Is that a 1 in 25? Oh, a foil.
A foil.
Shop exclusive, or is it 1 in 25?
Retailer exclusives. This is the 1 in 25 right here. So, also, what else do we got? Army of Darkness Forever #2. This is the Tony Fleece Dynamite series. That's really great. Shout out to Dynamite. Continue to do great things. They do the Arthur Sidem covers too. So if you like those Arthur Sidem style zombie covers that he did for Ash versus the Zombies, you're getting more of them here. And then they do the icon covers or whatever, and you got the Army of Darkness J. Scott Campbell reprint. So if you guys pick those up, but there's the Sidem cover.
I like the skull teeth.
Yeah. What else do we got? Batman 139 is going to be crazy. You got the Del Auto cardstock variant. Pretty damn good. You've got the Frank Cho. You've got the Diodato cardstock variant. You got the McFarlane action figure Bane breaking Batman.
Now that's how you do an action figure variant.
Oh yeah. And then the beautiful 1 in 25 Dustin Wen cover, just gorgeous. And then this is another gorgeous one right here, the 1 in 50 Otto Schmidt. A lot of good Otto Schmidt covers this week. So that symbol cover. Ooh. There's the Del Auto again. Let's see here. You've got the Birds of Prey, Chris Pacholo cardstock variant, which I like a lot. It's just a regular cardstock variant. This is the Otto Schmidt 1 in 25 for Birds of Prey that everybody's talking about also.
Okay.
Another second Otto Schmidt cover this week, ratio cover. Blue Beetle's got a couple good things. This is Captain Ginger and the Last Feeder. What is this? Anybody reading this or heard about this?
I had not heard about that until last night. I saw it on the list.
Yeah. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. You got the Star Wars variant they're doing, of course.
I do like that.
Yeah. You've got Captain Marvel, Dark Tempest #5 coming out. Children of the Comet #4. That's a cool cover right there, though. I like that. It's from Sumerian.
Yeah.
Yep. Creep Show #3 is coming out. There you guys go.
Ooh.
Pretty creepy, yeah. So, and then you've got a couple variants there.
Is that #3 Creep Show? Is that Hotz, Kyle Hotz? That first
George Thorogood?
No, the first one in that next let down. Next go see the one with all the squigglies in it right there. No, the other one, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty metal.
Yeah.
Who's the artist?
Skinner.
Okay.
That's a 1 in 10. And then Dark Ride's coming out. Dark Ride has the 1 in 25 Tony Fleece Cinderella variant. Yeah, and Wild Thing, where the wild things are, I think, kind of thing.
I love it. I love it. It's take a couple of Disney elements or something fun from your childhood and just turn it dark.
Yep.
Ooh, good question, McClay. Is the Creep Show reprinting or original stories?
Original. Hollywood Special, Dark Spaces Hollywood Special 3, Dead Lucky, Destiny Gate. You got an ECU fan thing. Empath #1. This will be interesting. Let's see how that plays out, what that's about. It looks interesting.
Who's the publisher on that? Oh, Black Box?
Black Box, yeah. Look at this. Shout out to Opus. Exodus Tales of the Damned #1. Look at that cover, dude. Holy shit, that is awesome.
Yeah.
This is that company that was doing those Monsters of Metal books, and this is great, man.
I love that, actually. That is really good.
I love how it's got the old school thrash metal Exodus style.
Mm-hmm.
It's badass, man.
Exodus.
Fire and Ice. You got the Souza Micah cover. It's funny. It says Micah Souza. She's going by Micah Souza, her real name now. So, but yep, Souza Micah cover there. The Fire and Ice cover. Fire and Ice. Dynamite's doing these Fire and Ice books. Look at this cover right here. That just takes me back, man.
It does.
The Virgin of so good. Look at this. Oh, wow. Yeah. Leonardo Manco. Shout out to Dynamite. Firefly.
Dynamite.
You've got Frank Franzetta's Mothman, which I love this cover here.
Oh, yeah. Homage.
Yeah, that's the Fly.
The Fly.
Yeah. So that's really good.
I love those like 80s style homages where it looks like the cover of VHS cassette with the names at the bottom like that.
Yeah. All right. So Mothman looks good. You have the Gods too, the Marvel Gods stuff that's coming out. If you guys are reading that, I don't like the Del Mundo. It's not that good. The Garbage Pail Kids, Trashing Through Time, has one of my favorite all-time Garbage Pail Kids. New Wave Dave.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go there. And then you also got the classic one, which is the Virgin.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, the Torrin Clark variant, 1 in 25. Pretty good.
What is this, volume 4, volume 5?
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy has a Sienkiewicz Knight's End variant. Check this out.
That's crazy looking.
Yeah. I love the stained glass thing that Sienkiewicz does. House of Slaughter, number 19. Couple variants there.
I've not been a fan of their round of variants from them lately.
Hunt for the Skinwalker, number 3. You got a creepy alien cover there. And it's got a couple good variants. I like the original, but I like this as a virgin. Yeah, look how good it looks as a virgin. Hold on. Look at that. Looks good. So there's that.
That definitely looks cool.
Hypergeist Icon vs. Hardware action. Icon vs. Hardware and Action Comics number 1 homage. Now the Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing number 12 has our third Otto Schmidt cover this week. That is good.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's not the best. Look at this.
Yes,
Ben
it
Olivier
is.
Oliver 1 in 25.
Dude.
And then this one's not too bad. The Christian Ward cover C, I like too. So all 3 covers are great. Josie and the Pussycats Anniversary Spectacular number 1. It's interesting. You get the Jim Rugg variant right here. Check it out. Pretty cool. And then this is the Stadium Comics variant. But I like the Jim Rugg one right there. I like that one. Knights of the Dinner Table. Number 309, still rocking it. Love and Rockets, number 14. I forgot they were putting out Love and Rocket stuff. Again, that's pretty interesting. The Madness, number 4. It's got a cool old school Descendants homage.
Oh man, I love the Descendants.
Yeah.
I heard they're touring again.
Yeah. The Unleashed. Look at this. This Ron Lim Bats version is so good, dude.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That dog does not have a leash.
It's missing half its body.
That's number 4 from
Yeah,
Boom.
have either of you guys seen the Netflix show?
No. Is it good?
I have not either. I haven't. Every time I go to Netflix, it doesn't even pop up. So I don't even know if it's been released yet. But
What is it, Mitch?
Mech Cadets.
No, Met Cadets. This is Mitch. This looks interesting, dude. From Scout. Mitch mixes comedy, science fiction, and urban fantasy with character Mitch as the anthropomorphic lead, juxtaposed to the seemingly realistic world of the late 90s. It's chunky Roger Rabbit with a bad temper meets Indiana Jones, set in a Sam Raimi's-looking cityscape. Story about one furry guy on a quest to find his true origins, unintentionally stumbling into adventure, mystery, and secret ongoing extraterrestrial conflict over Earth and its unsuspecting occupants.
Oh, I found it. The reason why it hasn't stuck out and people haven't really been talking about it, it's in the kids section of. It's listed as a kids show on Netflix. Mech Cadets.
My Little Pony Classics you got there. This looks interesting. This is a 1 in 10. I think that's going to sell. Wizard of Oz homage. That's going to be a big book. Knights number 2. Petrol Head number 1. This is interesting. Look at this. Yeah. From Image. That's pretty good.
What's the premise of that book?
Says jump straight into the non-human race with 42 robo-gorgeous launch issue story pages in a climate crisis-ravaged future metropolis. An old, grumpy, obsolete, smoke-belching, cigar-chomping, hot rod robot is one 12-year-old girl's only hope. Together, they can outrace the chasing robo-cops with an invention that might just save humanity.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. Here's the Campbell. Is this Sophie Campbell? I don't know. Let's see here. Lawrence
Campbell
variant for that.
My only thing with Image Skybound is when they do some of these co-companion stories, they got to get away from the softer side of it and then get a little bit more dark and gritty with some of those.
It's like a Mothman cover.
This, surprisingly, for a Lemire title, hasn't stacked up in the first 3 issues as much as I thought it would. I'm excited to get into issues 4, 5, and 6, though.
Yeah. It's a cool Walking Dead 20th anniversary variant. Here we go. Poison Ivy number 16. Of course, you always got the great covers on Poison Ivy, and Nakayama doesn't disappoint on this one.
Nope.
That's the card stock. Here's the 4th Otto Schmidt variant this week. That is awesome.
Mhm.
And look at this Diodato Jr. cover. Woo!
It came with it with that one.
This is the 1 in 25.
That's sick.
Yeah. The
I love
bones.
that.
Yeah.
It's got the fly,
Yeah.
the Venus flytrap. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's how Venus flytraps look too when they eat. They have this like tar that is the waist.
Yeah.
Here's the 1 in 50 Nakayama Virgin, and then there's the regular
Better
covers.
Off Dead. That's cool.
Punchline number 15. It's a cool cover right there. But this isn't the same Punchline. This is from Antarctic Press.
Yeah, this is a different Punchline.
Yeah, look at that. It's a cool cover.
See what happens there with that. That might be
Punisher
just
number 1, you guys. What do you think about this, Andy?
I am torn. I am gonna read it. I did not read the last Punisher series that was released, and that was my own fault. This time I'm not gonna sit out, but this feels a little too futuristic and feels like the Marvel still continues to miss the blaring and glaring issues that are at the forefront of the life that is relatable for people. We should see what they need to do is have a super dark, gritty Punisher, whether it's Frank Castle or not, come out and start battling human trafficking, battling the things that people fear in major cities, the crime rings that are out there now, and the digital. He should be going and Frank Castle needs to be more of a CIA operative going from country to country in a C-130 fighting the data mines or the cyber criminals and stuff like that that's relatable in real life. And I think Marvel continues to forget that Frank Castle's a street level hero, or Punisher has always been a street level hero that people can relate to. And he was a hero for people because he was battling what people feared. He was combating things that people were afraid of in everyday life. And that's what I'm kind of worried about here is we're going in another direction, and it's just not going to be even close to relatable. And it's going to be fun for serious Marvel fans and serious Punisher fans. And that's maybe it.
Yeah.
God, that was long-winded. Sorry.
You've got the Savage Red Sonja number 1. This is the Art Adams. Ooh. Yeah. And then here you got the Cho.
Oh, I like that.
Adams. This is the Cosplay blank Art Adams 1 in 10. Cosplay Cho 1 in 15. Panosian 1 in 15. That is gorgeous.
We don't get enough.
Cho. Yeah. So good stuff there. Scorched number 23 has got a gorgeous cover.
Ooh.
Yeah. So check that out.
Nice Walking Dead variant, Walking Dead homage, or not homage, but anniversary.
Shazam has a crazy 1 in 50.
I love this one.
Yeah.
I don't know what that shark. It's kind of goofy.
It's just in my head, my brain just goes, "It's Jeff."
Yeah. You get the Sheena. This is a cool Arthur Sidem cover right here.
Ooh, good girl, like a bondage good girl cover kind of deal.
It's like Planet of the Apes.
I don't know what this is. Shrine number 1. Looks pretty crazy. Look at that.
Shriner.
The life of a black market companion doll changes forever when she is possessed by a vengeful spirit who empowers her to reject her programming and rise up against her merciless captors.
It doesn't even list the publisher. $15 cover price.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Something crawled out. That's kind of creepy. Here's Something is Killing the Children, number 34.
That's the 616 variant from last month, right?
Yeah. So
how the Halloween
Sonic the Hedgehog, number 66. You got There's the variant. Here is the here's the 1 in 10. And then
Cover B.
yeah. So
Where's cover A?
right there.
Oh, okay.
I didn't mean to do that. I hate how it doesn't save these settings.
Yeah, I wish it would really do that.
All right.
Oh,
We've
God.
got Star Trek.
Don't get into
Defiant.
Star Wars. Don't get into Star Wars. Don't get into Star Wars.
You don't like the Star Wars?
There's just a lot. There's a lot going on for Star Wars. I love the cover A for Dark Droids here.
This one's not good. Not good. It looks like he's cross-eyed because of the shadows.
And we've done Vader covers like this to death. So if you're gonna do it, you got to hit a home run.
Yeah, this one's excellent. Terrible. So there's that.
I'm still in shock. I got my pull list for tomorrow. My pull list is over $230.
Look at all of them.
Because of the High Republic variants. Yep.
Yeah. Jesus.
There's a 1 in 100 High Republic variant that looks really good. It's not showing up on there. I think you got to go up one. Left. There it is. You just had it. Yep. That's the 1 in 100 that's coming out. But it's a 1 in 100 connecting variant.
Yeah.
Well, when Marvel does connecting variants, there's 6 or 7 or 8 of them. So you're going to tell me you're going to do a Virgin connecting variant and charge $100 a pop for them or more on New Comic Book Day? Come on.
Yeah. Stuff of Nightmare. This is a Frizen. Look at this. This looks awesome. Cover O, Jenny Frizen Boom Studios black and white variants for Stuff of Nightmare #1.
Well, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Those guts in the left hand. Ew.
R.L. Stein. So this must be a special one that they're putting out. Ooh. Man. That's a Boom Studios exclusive black and white variant. I wonder if that's on their site. Superman 78. This is the McFarlane action cover variant.
Okay, again, here we go. We've got an action figure variant cover with what looks like actual action figure, which is pretty dope.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 145 has another. I mean, this cover.
Another shark.
There's another shark cover. Look at this though. The cover C for the Dia de los Muertos stuff from Gonzo. That's great. Here's the 1 in 10. That's badass looking, dude. That's good. They got black and whites for those. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are Street Fighter. Nothing really great there. Last Ronin, they're reissuing it. This is my cover of the week, right? Both of these. Look at these. This is amazing. Absolutely beyond amazing, beautiful, gorgeous Linnell Francis Yu. And so is, hold on. And so is that one. Look at that in Hook Lee. But the A cover is the best cover. This should have been a variant. Yeah. This will be a second print 1 in 25 you watch.
Do we know how long? Is there any details or information on this new Thanos series coming out? Like a 6-issue miniseries, or are we going maxi?
Thanos versus the Illuminati. The Mad Titan descends upon Earth to retrieve something he has lost, and the Illuminati must band together to stop him. So it looks like at least 3 issues. Let's take a look here.
That's definitely something I want to pick up to read.
Yeah. So there's that. Adam the Blue Marvel is going to be in it. That's cool. Look at that.
Ooh,
what's going on here? Delauto sketch variant. That's just a sketch he did for somebody.
Oh, Ron?
Hasbro variant. What the hell? So there we go. Spider-Man or Transformers 2.
Yep.
Get some great covers here.
I think there's 3 covers out tomorrow.
Ooh, look at that. That's cool. Transforming. Ooh, that's nice. So there we go. Here's the 1 in 50. I guess. So there we go.
Nice game.
Uncanny Spider-Man number 3.
I've heard that this isn't living up to the standards that the people that are reading it say it's just not living up.
I really like this because I collect Uncle Sam covers.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Undiscovered Country is still going and on issue 27.
Rage, the Vampirella Dracula Rage number 3. It's got a couple good ones. Look at this Jay Ferguson variant.
Mm-hmm.
Her hand. Look how big her hand is. Holy shit.
It's a man hand.
Yeah, that is a man hand. Look at that. Ugh. I like Jay Ferguson, but that one's rough.
It's real wide.
Here's the Perillo. What if Dark Tomb of Dracula has some interesting covers?
Huh.
Yeah. Here's the 1 in 100 art germ. 1 in 25 Suyan. And then just the regular art germ.
1 in 25 reminds me of what's that guy's name? Something Perez.
Yeah.
On the shows back in the day. God.
X-Force 46 has a decal 1 in 25. I don't think that's good. I mean, this is great, but I don't like this.
I like yellow covers, but that's not quite hitting it.
Yeah. The trade dress is rough. You got X-Men Red 17, Apocalypse. Big fan of Apocalypse. There's the 60th anniversary. There you go. And as we're getting to the end, perfect timing. Zawa number 1, The Belly of the Beast. So there you go.
From Boom Studios.
Yep. And that is New Comic Book Day. So
that is a beast of a New Comic Book Day, Brian.
Yeah.
Ryan, I didn't see anything Venom related. Is there anything there you're going to read that stands out to you?
There was that one Amazing Spider-Man that was at the top, the cover of Venom. There was two covers. It went by pretty quickly. But I saw 2 cool looking covers.
I know my pull list is
Transformers.
Insanely large. Yeah, Transformers. Transformers and G.I. Joe is going to dominate reading lists for the next 12 to 24 months, in my opinion. They're going to be a big part of it. But that's one hell of a New Comic Book Day, Ryan. And that does what?
Uno más tingo.
Leaves us with one more thing.
What happened?
What did I do?
I don't know. You sound all muffled for a second.
Oh, I was moving the mic around. Is that really the Spanish translation for one more thing is Uno Mas Tango?
Uno más tingo. I don't know. Uno más is one more, and thing is I just made up dingo. It's probably not. I'm probably saying something really bad or something. Who knows? But uno más is one more. Una más. Dingo. Por favor. Muchas gracias. Tipicaca.
Brian, buddy. What you got?
I have got regular shows. I'm going to be spending the rest of the night working on my computer and feeding my dog. So that's all I've got.
Nice, man. Looking forward to them. Ryan?
Same thing. eBay. I'll be posting up some more Will Levis and some of the other some C.A. Shroud stuff. Moving pretty quickly. So I need to put it up what's been moving off the shelf, and yeah.
Nice. My one more thing this week is much like these guys, just regular content. Tomorrow's New Comic Book Day. I've got 3 weeks worth of comic books to pick up because I've been so busy the last couple of weeks at work.
Me too.
And they were kind of slow. So I've got probably $300 worth of comic books to pick up. And
yeah,
I'm debating about leaving some of those ratio variants behind or asking the LCS, hey, put them on the wall. And if they don't sell, maybe I'll grab them at a later date. But we'll find out some more. And Motor City Comic Con is coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've been told by several friends that I just need to get out there and there's a ticket waiting for me to get in the door. I might make a sneak peek appearance out there for Friday and Saturday. We'll see. Looking forward to it. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
thanks for an awesome show this week, guys.
For sure. Jeffrey
Our
Dake,
Marvel-
good to see you, bud. Welcome. Sayonara.
Yeah, thanks for catching on the back end.
Wax on, wax off.
Don't forget to hit the like button, everybody that's here in the chat. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe for the channel. It helps out tremendously as we continue to find an audience for Comic News Weekly. And again, thank you to everybody here that's every week, because Comics News Weekly has been hitting numbers that we haven't seen for a year or two. Like, we're seeing 300 plus views for the shows. And back when the show was on Bryan's channel, SimpleMan's Comics, you get like 1,500, 1,600 views a week. It's starting to find its audience again, starting to see everybody come back. So we greatly appreciate that, and everybody being a part of the channel. You guys make this well worth it every week. But you know what's the most important thing, Ryan?
What's that, Andy?
We just got to stay original and take care of each other, right?
Yeah, that's what we got to do.
As I do it all backwards, I'm going to go peace out. I'm going to go pinkies out. I'm going to catch you on the flip side for the next one. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow and on everybody else's channels on YouTube. Have a good night, everybody.
I'll be tuna.
Double up, double up, double up. The money I color. Excuse me while I change. The holler buggy has made me sweaty. Yeah, sweaty.